The current craze of record-breaking, insanely expensive timepieces has probably scared you into feeling ashamed to wear a timepiece that is less heard of. Or perhaps you feel as though you can't join the club if you don't have a luxury watch with a ridiculous price tag. There are actually a lot of affordable watches out there that provide amazing quality, design, and value for money. You're in luck if you don't want to splash the cash, but still want a stylish, functional, and long-lasting watch. We've compiled a list of the top 10 affordable watches that every watch collector should have. Stay tuned for a piece that even sells for as low as $70. Number 10. Tissot Gentleman Powermatic 80 at $775. The Gentleman is an absolute favorite from Tissot. It combines a more broadly appealing design structure with a distinct Powermatic 80 caliber, which in this case makes use of a silicone hairspring that is friction as well as magnetic resistant. Its finish is incredibly good. It occupies a fairly good place in terms of size. It has a case size of 40mm and lug-to-lug of 48mm. Since it only has a thickness of 11.5mm, users with somewhat smaller wrists can also get away with it. It functions well in a variety of settings thanks to its design. It appears sporty, at the same time sophisticated and quite casual. It looks good on a steel bracelet or a leather strap. Plus, it has a water resistance of 100 meters, so not only does it look amazing, but it can also handle a range of activities without you needing to worry that much. The large selection of Gentleman models gives a great array of possibilities if you have just under $800 to spend and are opting for a more conventional, less flashy Swiss automatic watch. Number 9. Bulova Lunar Pilot at $525. This is perfect for anyone who wants a stylish, historical tool watch, but doesn't have the money to spend several $1,000s on a high-quality mechanical watch. This is a timepiece that on the outside is completely overlooked. The Bulova Lunar Pilot actually has a rich history behind it. It was modeled after a real moon watch and is the perfect illustration of that. David Scott, an astronaut pilot, wore it. He did wear this unique prototype model while on the surface of the moon, and it was later sold at auction for a whopping $1.6 million. The style is classic. It is well respected, and at the same time, you're experiencing a movement with high frequency. You can't find anything better than that for that price range. Number 8. Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical at $500. Without a doubt, the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical is the best Swiss mechanical watch available for less than $500. The H50's modified Swiss ETA 2801 caliber reduces the beat frequency from the normal 28,000 VPH to 21,600 VPH, extending the power reserve to an amazing 80 hours. With this classic dial design stretching back for decades, this timepiece continues Hamilton's great legacy of providing field watches to the American military and other allied military groups in World War II. Number 7. Seiko 5 Sports at $500. Its durability and everyday wearability are undoubtedly among its greatest aspects. These types of watches can be worn continuously for years without needing to be checked. And if you do need to get it checked, it won't cost you much because Seiko movements are so simple for most watchmakers to fix. Additionally, you can choose from a variety of colors and styles. This watch is clearly on the larger side with a 42.5mm diameter. Despite having a 46mm lug-to-lug, it would still fit your wrist pretty well, even for users with smaller wrists. Just keep in mind that 13.4mm in thickness will definitely show, which takes us to the next thing you should be mindful of. Given its size, this one comes off as bulky and doesn't translate well into a more formal setting. Number 6. Seiko SRP B77 at $450. You may assume that Seiko specializes in reasonably priced sports and dive watches, and although that is true, Seiko also produces some very exquisite dress watches. The watch is housed in a stainless steel casing that is 12mm in thickness and 40.5mm in diameter. The watch doesn't look bulky at all, and thanks to its thickness, it fits the wrist extremely well. Having said that, it easily slides under a cuff, which is obviously favorable given that it is a dress watch. It has the greatest looking dial that costs less than $500. These watches have developed into some of the greatest dress watches available for the money since the launch of the Cocktail Time way back in 2010. If you're on a tight budget, these watches are fantastic additions to your collection because they have a powerful movement and a variety of dial color options in a superb finish. Number 5. Seagull 1963 Chronograph at $250. It is known for being one of the most reasonably priced mechanical chronographs, as well as being very iconic considering its historical significance. A Seagull watch is also good for wearing on a day-to-day basis, considering its appearance and the different color variations available. It comes in 2 sizes, which is great. You can choose between 38 and 40 millimeters. This shows that there's a Seagull for almost everyone in the world. Now, we'd like to point out a few things. The first is that it isn't that water resistant, so washing your hands with it is acceptable, but it is not recommended for swimming. Second, despite being sturdy and stunning to look at, the movement's power reserve is just 36 hours. Additionally, because this watch's movement is hand-wound, you could find yourself winding it more frequently than you imagined. Number 4. Orient Bambino at $185. There isn't much to say about this watch that hasn't already been stated online, but the Orient Bambino still merits its high ranking among value-conscious people. Since its introduction almost 10 years ago, the Bambino has developed into an icon of accessibility that nearly no enthusiast can avoid. Even though it has certain quirks, such as an unattractive 21mm lug and a 40.5mm case that is overly large, the conventional beautiful design formula and high-quality finishing for the price more than compensate for any flaws. It's not necessarily the popular take, but the Bambino is a symbol of affordability and costs merely over $150 when purchased brand new. Number 3. Swatch System 51 at $150. The Swatch System 51 made a statement when it made its Basel World debut in 2013, setting itself apart from the rest of the Swatch offerings during that period with an automatic caliber. It was a completely new mechanical automatic movement made entirely by an automated method and composed of just 51 components, thus the name, as opposed to any off-the-shelf ETA. Ever since, the System 51 collection has grown significantly, offering, as is typical for Swatch, a wide variety of color and style options. Number 2. Vostok Amphibia at $88. The Vostok Amphibia is a cult classic that is well known and adored by crowds of price-conscious dive watch fanatics. The Russian-made Vostok, which costs just under $100 and has an in-house movement, is available in hundreds of various case and dial configurations and is the focus of an active aftermarket modification culture. The Amphibia is the most affordable, legit, automatic diver's watch you can purchase, period. Number 1 on our list, we have the G-Shock DW5600 at just $70. The G-Shock is arguably the best example of a watch that transcends its category and achieves levels of recognition usually reserved for pop cultural style icons. Under $70, the DW5600, in practice, is the standard rectangular G-Shock that upholds the design aesthetic first applied in the DW5000 from 1983, making it easily the toughest watch now on the market and possibly in any price range. The basic black model, which is still the preferred choice for the majority of admirers of its timeless style, despite being offered in hundreds of variations, provides more durability than virtually anyone could realistically need in a smaller case profile than most contemporary G-Shock watches. Almost every watch collector should have at least one G-Shock in their collection. You don't need to spend a lot of money to have an interesting watch collection. These affordable timepieces that we have shared with you today will still turn heads. They're also incredibly durable, offer excellent value, and may even appear to be much more expensive than they look.